you have your registration and insurance?
Yeah, not for you.
How long you lived in Florida?
I'm actually from North Carolina. I'm just visiting right now.
Oh, you're visiting?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a reason that you just drove like extremely fast and ran 2 stop signs in that parking lot in that street back there? How much you had to drink tonight?
2 beers.
2 beers?
Yeah.
What time?
I think I got there at like 11 o'clock or so.
Do you have a Florida license?
No, it says it's an ID card.
Have you ever had a Florida license?
In the past, yeah.
Where is it?
I don't have one anymore.
Oh, it's no good?
No.
What are you looking for right now?
I'm from North Carolina.
You're looking for your North Carolina license?
Yeah, and it should be totally in here, and it's not.
Do you not recall handing it to me?
Are they able to understand instructions? Are they able to have a conversation with the officer? If the officer asks for their driver's license, do they respond appropriately?
How much did you have to drink tonight?
2 beers.
2?
Yeah.
So after 2 beers, you can't remember 3 times that you already handed me your license? All right, what I'd like you to do is stand on the light and face me, please. Put your feet together, your hands here. I want you to remain like that. Don't start until I ask you. Do you understand? When I ask you to begin, whatever leg you choose, and I don't care which one, you're going to hold one of them 6 inches off the ground, like so, with your foot straight. I want you to look at your foot and count. 1001, 1002, 1003, and keep counting like that until I ask you to stop. Do you understand those instructions?
Yeah.
Go ahead and begin, please.
1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
Are they having a problem with walking, with talking? Do they have slurred speech? Do they have a flushed face? Do they have bloodshot, glassy eyes?
I'm honestly not a big drinker. I don't know if 2 beers did it for me or not.
Well, I think it did because I didn't ask you to move your foot whatsoever on this. Turn around, please. Place both hands behind your back. I am placing you under arrest for DUI. Do you understand that?
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm getting arrested. Oh my God.
Information that comes out when you're sitting in the back of a police car that's not in response to questioning, meaning it's spontaneous statements that you're making, can be used against you. Because in the back of a police car, you don't have a reasonable expectation of privacy.
You really need to do this to me? I'm not a drinker. I got cheated on. I had 2 beers. I'm not a drinker at all.
Okay.
You have to do this, don't you?
I am arresting you, yes.
I've never been arrested in my life. I can't believe it.
The duty and obligation of a prosecutor is different than that of a police officer. A police officer arrests with what is called probable cause. But the burden that the prosecutor have is they have to take all of the evidence in the case and they have to present it to the jury or the fact finder, the judge in some cases, and they would have to prove that the crime charged is in fact what happened, and they would have to prove that with a burden of beyond a reasonable doubt.
Prosecutors can use police reports and police testimony. They can utilize photos and dash cam video. And they can also call witnesses and present additional evidence to help convict an offender. A DUI conviction for a first offender carries a 1-year probation, even if the offender is as young as 13. A driver license suspension for a minimum of 6 months, a minimum of 50 hours of community service, and a minimum $500 fine and court costs. And there's more. A DUI conviction results in a permanent criminal record that follows an offender for the rest of their lives, making it very costly to get car insurance. That permanent criminal record is also very difficult to hide from future employers.
It's important to understand that the duty of a prosecutor is to seek justice. It's not just to get convictions. When a prosecutor has a case, they need to understand that the obligation is to the victim. They need to protect the innocent victim as well as convict the guilty. But in obtaining that conviction, they actually have to safeguard the rights of the accused as well as enforce the rights of the public at large.
Prosecutors have an ethical duty to take cases to trial only when there's a reasonable likelihood of a successful prosecution. If they don't have the evidence to get a conviction, they must drop the case.
Oftentimes, the charges that the person is arrested on may not be the charges that actually are what is filed. You can look at a person's prior record and maybe file something as a felony because of prior convictions. Certainly in a DUI case, if a person had several prior DUIs, it could be filed as a felony, 3 or more.
Miss, we're gonna place you in the breathalyzer area for 20-minute observation, and then we'll take you over to the jail. And we're going right through here.
There was one next in with some paper.
I need you to have a seat right there in the bench. Have a seat. And I'll be right with you.
Hey, ma'am, come in here. I need you to place your back and face the camera. Keep your head straight.
When your photograph is taken now and you're arrested, you need to assume that it will be everywhere.
Your mugshot becomes public record and will likely appear in your local newspaper. It may even show up on internet sites like Twitter and Facebook.
And to your right. You're going all the way down to the gray chairs down here.
Most people have very little contact with the legal system other than a simple traffic ticket. Others, like this young lady who's been arrested for drunk driving, will become immersed in it, from their arrest to their booking in the county jail to their day in court.
You're gonna have a seat right here in the gray chair. Ma'am, come here, please. Let's see your right arm. Thank you. You're gonna have a seat right back here, ma'am.
My God! I'm getting arrested! Oh my God!
DUI suspects spend 8 hours in a holding cell and given a second breathalyzer test before they're released. During that time, many will consider the need for a defense attorney. So, when should someone call a defense attorney?
When someone has been arrested, when someone may be under suspicion for being involved in criminal activity, when someone's a victim of a crime and wants a personal representative to help them through the criminal justice system.
In fact, anytime they need someone who will defend them and have their best interests at heart.
When you go to court for the first time for your arraignment, when you're entering a plea of guilty or not guilty, your lawyer yourself will get what's called the discovery packet from the prosecutor. What that is all of the police reports, a listing of all of the evidence against you.
In DUI cases, that would include dash cam video, breath testing, audio tapes, photographs, witness statements, and a list of all the witnesses they plan on using against you.
Before you make any statements, your Miranda rights need to be read to you if they're going to be used against you with law enforcement or in a court of law. But most people are under the misconception that immediately upon arrest, your Miranda rights need to be read to you. And that's not necessarily the case.